In the Pacific Northwest, there is a special and hateful place these two schools have for each other in their hearts. From Jake Browning's point or Kenny Wheaton running back to score, this game has had plenty of moments, and maybe we'll get another classic in this one. Welcome to Husky Stadium, home of the Washington Huskies, as we'll see the number 4 team in the country, the Oregon Ducks, taking on the 14th ranked team in the land, the Washington Huskies. For EA Sports, I'm Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, and David Collins with me. Guys, can't wait to get this started. The Ducks will put total under to crank us up. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Using his legs, it's Coleman. Finds that crease, and he's got 4 out to the 29. The emotions and energy figure to be high all day, guys, because of what's at stake this late in the season. Really a must-win for both teams.
Yeah, these are the ones that get your blood moving, Reese. You get jacked up, man. We don't have to say anything in the locker room, give these big speeches. You know what's at stake, Jesse. You're ready to rock and roll. This is when you prove you're the big dog.
Which is pretty cool, too, because it's been a long season. And these teams obviously are both physically and mentally tired. But you're right. For this kind of game, this is the one you circled at the start of the year. You knew that this was going to matter. There was going to be a lot on the line. Now, it's time to go out and prove you're the better team.
Third and 6, and they'll need a big play here on this opening drive. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. And he gets it done on third down. They move the chains, and they'll mark it at the 44.
Every offensive coordinator in the country, they come in the game, they have a script. They have a couple plays they want to go through to get their team settled in, get down and get in good third down situations, execute on third down. Nice start on this opening drive by the offense.
Williams will pass. A lot of defenders around on that screen. And it's pretty obvious there was a big hole in that screen, and the defense ran right through it.
And you're trying to get the ball to the running back quick and let him get some space, but there was absolutely no space. They penetrated quickly, and they got him before he could even get going.
Looking left. Oh, he had his man for a big gainer, and he just flat missed him.
There's an example of what happens when the quarterback doesn't have a chance to set his feet. The pressure just forced him to have to work off schedule a little bit. And I think because of that, he wasn't able to be as accurate as he wanted to be.
Ball is at the 41 as this defense tries to force the punt on third and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
The hardest thing to do in football is to play on the road. So you want to get those fans as quiet as possible. That is a great opening possession for this defense, not giving up any big plays and forcing the fourth down.
I like this call in plus territory. The punt would have to be so precise, might as well leave the offense out there on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Trying to burn this defensive back. Picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
Well, statistically, this defense is not one of the better units against the pass. They're trying to change that here today. What a great job tracking the ball down, making a play on it, stabbing it out of the air for a big interception early. That should be massive for their confidence.
This is what we expected. This crowd ready to make its presence known. One man in the backfield, and he gets it. And that's the way they'll start, and they hope it gets better. No gain. And the Ducks in the hurry-up. For decades, Washington dominated this rivalry. Then 1994, and the pick by Kenny Wheaton took it to the house. And since that moment, this rivalry has been on.
It's been so much fun to watch. For years, it had conference championship implications. We've seen Heisman Trophy implications in this one. More recently, college football playoff implications as well. Always fun when these two teams get together.
And it doesn't matter what conference they're in. We're always watching this matchup. All eyes are on this match. They don't like each other. A lot of animosity. The coaches don't like each other. The players don't like each other. This is going to be a great ball game.
I mean, good news here, they get the completion. Bad news, though, not enough to pick up the first down. The target there, he's got to do a better job understanding where the first down marker is, make sure he gets the right depth on his route. Now, all of a sudden, head coach has a big decision.
On fourth down, they'll throw for it. Going for the big play. Got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Oregon. And it feels good to land that first big punch against a rival, doesn't it?
No doubt. In a game like this, too, you just want to be executing at a high level early. So, David, that's got to feel great getting on the board first.
And settles everyone down. All the nerves, all the emotion of this rivalry game. Now everybody can kind of settle in because you know you already got a touchdown on the board.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. Finding themselves down 7-0. They'd love to get a drive going here. Runs through the tackle. Runs ahead and powers his way for 4 yards out to the 30. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Williams looking for a man. Quickly complete. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, I think for that play to work, you need to have some access and cushion coverage for the receiver to be able to do something with it after the catch. That time, the defender was just way too close, all over him. He tackles him for no gain.
This is where you make the money on the drive. Ball at the 30, it's 3rd and short. They go to the ground. And they did not let him reach the line to gain. It'll bring up a decision here. The offense stays on the field. Maybe they'll try to make the defense jump. They also might try to run it ahead for 1 yard. On 4th down, he'll try to toss it. Close to the marker, gets Evans. Turns out to be an easy conversion for this offense as they move the chains on 4th down.
Wow, and that was just a bang-bang play. On that 4th down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a little extra mustard on it, and he shows you the arm talent on the throw.
And this one will be stopped for no gain. Now, I know you two never faced off against each other in an actual rivalry game other than the Thanksgiving morning turkey bowl. But knowing you two the way I do and the way you know each other, Jesse, what would you have done to try to throw Pollock off a little bit on a stage like this?
In our opening 10-play script, I would have had David Pollock cut blocked, maybe even double-team high-low, chop blocked on every single play early.
Which is illegal, you bum. That's fine. But that's fine. You know what? I guess in retaliation to that, we would have just roughed the passer over and over, taking the 15-yard penalty. That's what's fun about this, Reese. It's petty. It's sometimes it crosses the line of dirty, but that's why rivalries are so fun.
Williams will pass. And the third down pass incomplete after a good deflection by the defense.
Really nice job by the defender knocking that one away in man coverage. And he knew coming into this one that he was going to get attacked and they were going to throw his way. So he's showing you right now. He is dialed in, locked in. Really nice job on that coverage.
They've already gone for it a couple of times on fourth down, converted once. Looks as if they'll try a third. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Makes the grab. Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37. The definition of four-down territory has changed over the last few years. It extended into their own territory there.
Anywhere, everywhere. Just look at the card, right? That card's supposed to tell us what to do. But maybe I'll go for it anyways. This offense took a little bit of a gamble, but they get the first down. Nothing to worry about.
He is like a loose boulder just rolling to the 32.
Defense, man, you got to go low and you got to chop that tree down, right? Go with the legs, take the legs out from underneath them so he can't continue to churn those puppies out and get extra yards after contact like he did there.
Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Looking to fire. Makes the catch. The stop is made at the 22. A 10-yard pickup and a first down just outside the red zone.
I like the slot receiver because he gives his quarterback a good option working the middle of the field. He's a nice weapon in this offense.
Washington has it and a fresh set of downs. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Tough run gets it into the red zone, and they've knocked him down at the 17. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And the Huskies with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Williams looking for a man. Quarterback extends the play. He just threw that one away. Nobody was getting open. He had to live to fight another play in the red zone. It'll be 3rd down.
Good decision by the QB. You're outside the pocket. You're trying to find an open target. No one's open. Throw it away and live to play another day.
The Huskies really need to keep this drive alive on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
They've done a nice job marching the football down the field to get into this position in the red zone. You throw an incomplete on 3rd down, so the question now, are you going for a touchdown, try to pay this drive off, or are you just going to take the points?
Fourth down and 4 yards to go. The offense will try to get it. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. The incomplete pass ends a frustrating series, and they turn it over on downs.
Great coverage on that 4th down play. Nice job blanketing the receiver out wide. The defense, you could tell, they knew they were going for it. They had a game plan. They get the big stop and turn it over to their offense.
First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. The quick out. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few. The Ducks headed quickly to the line. Lost the fire on 2nd down. Makes the catch. It's low. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. Quarterback run is part of their game plan. He gets it so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. On 4th down, they're taking to the air. Converts on 4th down. Still still going. Man, this sophomore quarterback unleashed a cannon on that one. Time has expired here in the quarter, and Oregon has the lead. And after that first quarter, let's see if these guys can get back in the game in the second. They flipped into the field, and we're ready to play. They've got a first down here to open the period. Here's the handoff. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. To the ground with the back. Got behind those pads and picked up 3 out to the 35. Take a shot. Hits him inside the 20, still going. And he ran away from the defense to take it in. Touchdown, Ducks!
What a massive play for the offense. And sometimes when you're calling it deep in your own end, you're expecting man coverage or at least a one-on-one to the outside of the field, and that's what they had. The quarterback put air under it. The receiver shows off his speed. They make the catch, and it's not just a big first down, it's a touchdown. That is a momentum-changing play.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And there will be no return on this one as the ball bounds into the end zone. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game, so Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Backed up now, here's 2nd and long. They'll run play action. Here's the pressure. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
This offensive line's got to do a better job. I mean, he doesn't even have time to go through his progressions. You got to give your QB some time. You got to make him feel comfortable. They didn't. They got in there quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Williams will pass. Fires to the tight end. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short. And the offense will stay on the field. Do you think they're just going to try to make the defense jump? On 4th down, going to the air. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. Picked up a few extra on that return, but what a play by this defense to get the football. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. They've already put a couple of scores up, and they look to add to it on this drive. They'll start this drive going to the air. That's caught. It's Benson. He gets it inside the 30 and out of bounds at the 29. The Ducks moving quickly to the line. Give to the back. Oh, he's got a chance. Nice pickup first down.
You know, as a defense, you can have the right call and the right guy in the right spot, but that guy's just too good. And how about the running back on that play? Just making it happen, breaking off the huge game. It's tough to get these guys on the ground.
Firing to the right, complete. He's run out of bounds after the big gain, and they are in business. First and goal. Snapped it in the shotgun. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Oregon.
Man, I've been really impressed with this offense this first half. Coming in a hostile environment, hostile crowd. Man, they haven't given them anything to cheer about. Offense, defense, now up 20-0, and these people are eerily quiet here.
And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And the ball will make it into the end zone. No return on that one for a touchback. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. There's still plenty of time, but you see that 21-point deficit, and there is a sense of urgency now. There he goes. Got enough for the first. They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground.
Wow, how about the stop-start speed? That reminds you of Napoleon Kaufman or Bishop Sankey, Myles Gaskin, great Washington Husky running backs of years past that just made defenders look silly because of that stop-start ability. This dude has some wheels.
They'll give it to him again. It's a fumble. The offense very fortunate to get that ball back. I don't know if it was luck or aggression or just a fortuitous bounce, but at least they've got the ball back.
Well, one thing I do know, Reese, this running back has got to do a better job with ball security. Cannot turn the football over and expect to win this game. They're very lucky they were able to jump on top of that one.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Williams looking for a man. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
They'll come to the line at the 42, facing a 3rd and long, making side adjustments here. 3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. He's going for the big play. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in.
And I expect them after that incompletion to go for it here on 4th down again. I know they're in their own end of the field right now, but we talked to the coaching staff coming into this one. They said, we are going to be aggressive no matter what. We haven't seen the punter in this game yet for them, and I don't think you're going to see him here either.
Referee signals timeout. It's the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. Boy, if they don't convert this 4th down, there will be questions to be answered. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Complete out of the backfield. Good pickup there as he gets the first down, and they'll mark him at the 48. Really good job there. Don't force anything. Take your time, and he finds his man for the first down.
Yeah, and I think really good job by seeing the defense. Understand that they're dropping back. They're taking away most things. All right, get the ball to my running back. He can make plays after he catches it. Nice job by the quarterback seeing the situation and where to go with the football.
The This first half of offense won't go on the highlight reel so far. But starting to get things moving, it's 1st and 10. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
That's a fantastic play by the linebacker. He has such tremendous instincts. As soon as he sees run, he's coming downhill. He's got great speed. He gets you on the ground. That's why he's one of the best linebackers in the entire country.
Trying to beat the D deep. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Yeah, and I love taking deep shots. I think it makes quarterbacks play honest, safeties play honest, and you can tell just missed a little bit deep on that shot. But listen, those are shots that we want to take because the risk is definitely worth the reward.
It'll be 3rd and long. Williams will pass. Quarterback strolling away from Heath. He's not afraid to go deep. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on.
And you've got to go for this on 4th down. I mean, this offense hasn't even punted yet in this game anyway, and they've gone for it on 4th down a few times early. But the field position dictates that you're absolutely going for it here. Trailing on the scoreboard, you've got to dial up a good play. You've got to get your best playmaker the football.
On 4th down, they'll try to throw it. Oh, he dropped it. He just lost his concentration and didn't look it all the way in. A bold decision to go for it on 4th down and one that did not pay off. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Takes the handoff. It's Hughes. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Down to 2 minutes before the half, and they'll take the timeout and see if they can add a little more before the break. Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to pass. Under fire. Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48.
Yeah, that's a great job. And listen, this quarterback's had success. He's already thrown for 2 touchdowns. We got to make him feel uncomfortable. This is still early in the game. Nice job by the defense, getting a hit on the quarterback and making him think a little bit.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. The short hand, it's Bryant. Taken out of bounds after a good pickup there. They're in striking distance at the 37. And the Ducks want to crank the tempo. Moore will throw. Sends it downfield. He caught it. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Ducks!
You talk about going on the road and making a statement. 27-0. Hostile environment being dang. You talk about home field advantage. Well, it hasn't worked. They have come in and had answers and started this first half as good as you possibly can.
And he tacks on the extra point. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He's forced out of bounds at his own 19-yard line. An excellent job of coverage on that one. They take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. He'll start this drive firing. Catch in the middle, it's Williams. He makes the stop almost as soon as he catches it. short of the first down. Second down, he'll throw it. Fires to the middle. Got his man to the left. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49. They'll try to snap it quickly. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Pulls it in. It's Boston. Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a first down at the 31.
Offenses are doing such a great job now with putting so many wide receivers on the field that they get good matchups and they just attack you to make big plays.
Washington coming to the line with another first down. Off play action. Fires left. It's complete. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
This coaching staff has really done a nice job marrying the play action game to their running game. That looked like that was going to be a run. Everything in that play said they're running the ball downhill. At the last second, quarterback pulled the football, and he was able to complete the throw.
From the red zone, looking for a man. Caught over the middle. It's Boston. Tackled almost immediately. They're well short of the first down. Quarterback may change this route. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Williams looking for a man. Makes the grab on the left. Perfectly thrown ball, nice catch, good tackle, but it's first and goal from the 5. We've got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. From the gun. He's going for the goal line. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. They've got it down to the 3. Now it's second and goal. Back to throw time, running short in the half. Can't make the grab as he was looking for his man right at the goal line.
Second and goal, no dice for this offense. If I'm on offense right now, I'm thinking about who are my mismatches? Who are my big bodies out wide that I can throw them the football and they can make a play over top of somebody.
One more snap coming before halftime. Wants to throw for it on third and goal. Can't make the grab as he was going for 6 right there.
Oh, those are those opportunities in the game. You got a chance to take points off the board, make a big play, and you just couldn't squeeze the interception. That's one of those plays coaches come back to, talk about, say, think if we get this big and we start taking this the other direction and we take points off the scoreboard.
So they get the late field goal right before the half, and not much time after this kickoff for an answer. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Under a minute to play here in the first half, and the offense will take a knee, and that is how we'll wrap up the first half. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Washington ready to kick off to start this second half. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Starting this third quarter on the ground. Out across the 30 mark, down at the 35 after the 10-yard gain.
In halftime in this locker room, there was a lot of positive things to talk about. You got the lead. But you know what else will be positive, Palmer? Get the running game going early in this second half.
You're absolutely right here. And I think this coaching staff is going to try to put this game on the offensive line a little bit. Let these guys take this thing over, be physical, and push this defense around.
And how about the efficiency on that one? It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
They'll get it to the 48. No need to measure. It's a first down.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Ducks have it with a 1st and 10. Motion from the wide receiver. From the gun, running back on the move. And he's able to bounce off one tackle, but still not a whole lot of running room.
And I think after that play there, you're seeing how this offense is staying committed to having some balance. They've had so much success early in this game throwing the football, right? They've been lighting the scoreboard up through the air, but they also want to keep the defense on their heels so you continue to run the football. Even if you're not breaking off 60-yard TV runs, you got to have that balance.
Out of the gun, the running back has it. And he does a really nice job finding open space and making a good gain before the stop is made.
Definitely been tough sledding for this guy, especially in the first half. They gave him the ball a bunch, but they just don't have a ton of yards on the ground to show for it at this point. That looked like a pretty good run, though. Just wonder maybe in the second half, if they keep giving him the football, it may start paying some dividends.
Putting together a real scoring threat here as they pick up the first down at the 36.
It's great awareness by the running back, understanding where the first down marker is and doing whatever it takes to get it.
The Ducks back to the line on first down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. Leaves it with the running back.
That's a big key for this offense. Now, you've got the lead here in the second half. You want to run the football, and you got to just keep getting positive yards. You got to keep the third downs manageable so you can stay on the field, bleed the clock. That's going to be the key for this offense and their team winning the game.
And the Ducks can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. On the move. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. The Ducks are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. On 3rd and short, they keep it on the ground here. All down, Liddell move the sticks as he picks up the first down.
When I think you're seeing the mental approach this offense is taking now, the nice lead here late in the third quarter, they're satisfied to just run the ball and chip away at this clock. This has been a really good-looking drive. Plenty of plays. They're staying on the field. They're bleeding and ticking this clock away.
Turning it on. Headed to the end zone. And he rolls into the house. Touchdown, Oregon.
Anytime you've got a successful run play on the ground, you've got to have great blocking up front. The offensive line, receivers, everybody doing their job. And that helped lead to the home run.
And the extra point is true, and the score is 35-3. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Williams will pass. With the catch, it's Coleman. He'll step out of bounds right at the 44. A big time pickup on that one.
I know the offense is down by a lot here in the second half. You just need one big play, though, to spark the offense, get the confidence going, and they may have found it right there in that completion. Good throw, good catch. Now we got to keep it going.
Coming out on first down with the play fake. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down.
This is a top 25 defense, guys. One of the best units in the entire country. They're so good situationally, and they understand the importance of getting leads early, making the offense predictable, having to throw in these types of situations so they can adjust accordingly. And that's what they're doing right now. Their coverage is being dictated by the scoreboard. They're going to make it really, really hard on this quarterback here in the second half to throw any completions.
They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. That's the end of the period, and Oregon has the lead. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. As we enter the fourth quarter, let's see if anything memorable can come from this one. After swapping ends of the field, that gave them a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on third down. Might be changing the route. Looking to throw again. And this is going to be incomplete on third down.
And you got to expect this offense to go for it again here on fourth down, right? Obviously trailing, we're in the second half, but we saw them try to go for it on fourth down early. Didn't have any success. They've got to dial up a better play here.
Down in the fourth quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He's going to let it go. And he's got it inside the 25.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game. But trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of momentum and gain a little bit of confidence that they can keep coaching up heading into their next game.
Got out of trouble and throws. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
And we've seen a lot of that from this offense, unfortunately. Just quarterback and wide receivers just not in sync. And sometimes it happens and they get out of sync and they don't make big plays. But, man, you're in a huge deficit. You need big plays down the field. So somebody's got to make a play for their quarterback.
Still looking on the move. He'll take a shot. And wings it incomplete.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback and this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
They were on the move, but two straight incompletions had them staring at 3rd and 10. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. Ball's at the 24, a lot of confidence in their kicker from here, but they'd love to take it off of his foot and convert the first down. Wants to adjust the pattern. Williams looking for a man. Fires it beautifully in on the crosser. And the first guy couldn't get him, but the second one does, but not until he picks up the first down.
This has been a frustrating day. I mean, they haven't moved the ball consistently, and now you get a play, but they haven't put 2 and 3 and 4 plays together, and that's why they're trailing in this football game. So maybe they can find some kind of a rhythm here late in the game and get something cooking.
trying to cap this drive with a pass. Right on the money. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Nice job by this guy finding the slot guy on a drag.
Yeah, the receiver just working his way across the field, giving his quarterback a nice, easy target. That's an easy completion.
It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. They'll go to work in the air on second down. Zings it complete to the right. They go up top to get it down to the 5-yard line as they try to pay off this drive.
Well, a great job making the tackle there. Now setting up third down in your own red zone. This is a stop you have to come up with. You want to give up field goals in this area of the field, not touchdowns.
Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. On third and short, they'll try to throw for it. Touchdown, Husky! That's the way you finish a drive and put up points. This game is almost certainly decided already, but the good news is for the next game, guys still flying around, still playing hard, not really hanging their heads.
Long season. This is early in the season. Still got plenty of time. Still find out which plays you like, which you don't, and keep running them, keep getting better at them. So use this as practice.
On the move from inside his 5. He only needs a sliver of daylight. He's got an alley. He's going to get loose. They won't get him. It's a touchdown. Now they have extended this lead, guys, starting to put the hammer, but sometimes a rivalry game can give you a little of extra fight back.
And there can be no panic at this point now. You've worked too hard this offseason, David. They've had this game circled for so long. You've got to play your best football right now and fight back.
And you just need something good to happen on this next possession. You got to get the crowd back into this football game. Big rivalry. Get some emotion. Get some momentum on your side.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. Weeks like this are tricky, but you have to respond better than they have, and I would expect they'll take a major hit in the rankings next week. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed.
Yeah, and you're going to see this offense find different ways to get this running back involved. It's not just going to be on handoffs, and they're certainly going to line him up in different places and even throw him the football. But the screen game's a big part of it, too. They're trying to get him going there.
Williams will pass. Got a man. It's Boston. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line.
Today's game in football, it's about getting your speedsters in space. Why? Because you let them do the rest. You get them the football quickly, let them break tackles. You see so many times them making plays after the catch. So hard to stop.
Looking to the big tight end. Almost had the completion, just missed it.
It's a nice adjustment by the defense here. With a big lead in the game, you're putting extra DBs on the field, knowing the offense has to throw to get back in this one in the fourth quarter. So your best cover guys on the field, and they force an incompletion on the last one.
Going to swing it on second down. Snagged in the middle. It's Boston. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short game there.
You just get the feeling this defense is going to make it hard on them, right? They've got the lead. It's late, and they're going to try to tackle everybody inbounds. Offense is going to have to really work for this and be smart. You got to attack the sidelines. You got to throw first downs. You got to keep this thing moving vertically down the field.
Incomplete, and he threw that one up for grabs and into traffic, and fortunate to get it back.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops. just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
On fourth down, looking to pass. Converts on fourth down, and he's still going. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch.
Really nice job by the offense. Hey, man, trust your guys, right? We got all these analytics on fourth down, said it, go for it. They trust their quarterback. He gets it done with the completion and gets the big first down.
This Washington offense moving quickly down the field. He might want another play. Williams looking for a man. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long different ways to affect him, weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls incomplete.
To the air on second down. Gonna take a shot. And it was worth going for a chunk play, but the long pass was incomplete.
At this point of the game in the fourth quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass, and they're putting a whole bunch of extra DBs on the field to help them out in coverage.
Now facing a third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Showing the arm straight down the left side. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's fourth down.
And I absolutely love what this defense is doing, man. You know exactly what time it is. You've got a big lead. They're going to have to throw the football. So more nickels, more dimes. Bring the speed on the field and get ready to play the pass.
On fourth down, looking for the completion. He's got it in more than enough for a first down. How about that one? Fourth and forever, and he just turned one loose and fired it for the first down.
Man, does that sting defensively. You get him in the perfect situation. You know they're going to pass the football. You lay the ball deep, and you give up a deep pass. That is a back-breaking play.
Washington wants to go quickly. Williams will pass. On the run, still looking. He just threw it away. The last thing you want to do is try to force something on first down in the red zone. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. Gets the back moving. Back to pass on second down. Fires to the tight end. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Sprinting to the line to try to get this one off. Clock's running. Offense changing the play. Looking to the end zone on third and goal. Throw to the end zone, picked off.
And that's kind of what this offense has done all day. They have struggled. They haven't gotten a rhythm. They haven't found a way to get points on the scoreboard. And late in this game, when your defense and your team really needed it the most, Palmer, they throw the INT.
And it's a microcosm, too, of just how dominant the defense has been. They've always been a step ahead. They've been the more physical side, and they've been making plays on the back end. That interception should seal this thing.
And the quarterback will just drop to a knee.
Defense is totally ready in this situation, too. Because of the field position with the offense backed up, they know they're going to try and run the ball, buy themselves some real estate, but they ain't having it. Lots of bodies in the box, close to the line of scrimmage, and they generate a TFL.
Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming.
Yeah, on offense, this is a tough place to run the football. Back in your own end, the defense is expecting you to do it, and that's why they're loading the box. This is a great opportunity to take a shot down the sideline to your best wide receiver in a one-on-one situation.
And the running game has been going in the wrong direction. They'll try to get their first positive play of the drive here on third down.